I think it's possible for me to get a second property as long as I'm rich.
That's why a lot of Singaporeans still stay with their parents.
No choice, it's not they want.
They are like looking forward to their birthday to buy a house.
I actually ballot for almost over time.
What? Oh my god.
I face challenges securing housing. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm not really that far yet in that stage, and I really feel that there's a lot of options already. So the only challenge I would think is only finance.
I also disagree because when I bought my resale property, it was quite smooth sailing for me. Yeah, the process was quite easy lah.
Me as a single for myself, we can only buy HDB when we reach 35. Problem is finance, because Singapore property is not cheap. If you don't get public housing before 35, you only have private options. And then the down payment is like insane. So to me, policy not an issue, but finance, yes, is an issue for me.
Housing price is getting more and more expensive. I think even with all the grants and whatnot, I still feel it's a little bit too steep for my income.
My challenges facing is more on the divorcees issue, because divorcees, one party is actually supporting the whole house. So financial wise is the issue. HDB will actually ask if you want location wise, bigger flat, then you go for resale flat. But resale, the prices at the highest point there, how are we going to afford? So for us, we confirm go to BTO. But the ballot part is the most hardest. I actually ballot for almost 10 over time.
What? Oh my god.
I think the policies or in Singapore, it's easier for families to buy a house. Like me and my partner, before we got married, we calculate our finances. Then we get to use all the top-ups from the government and then the proximity grant. So it's more pro-family, it seems. So that's why I think if you have a double income, it might be easier to get a house.
But then I got a question, because she got children, right?
I got children, but if my ex-spouse don't sign the agreements to allow my kids to be under the occupier, I am actually using a single scheme to buy, but I need a bigger flat when my kids come over. At least a minimum a 3-room. For single scheme is only 2-room.
Wow, so small.
I feel pressured to own my own home. 3, 2, 1, go.
I feel like it's more like a want rather than a need at my stage of life. I studied overseas before, so I lived overseas on my own. So I know how it feels like to live alone. But then coming back to Singapore, with all the realities of life, like cost of living, lack of housing options, even though there's condo, there's HDBs, I can't really afford housing right now on my own.
Being an only child, my family and my parents do expect like more from me. Like they would want grandkids and everything, and I would want to have my own family in my own home. So I would say the pressure is there, but at the same time, I think that it's also more of like personal preference, like personal goal as well.
For myself, in my mid-30s, all the friends start to get married at a certain age, and then like I want to be a property owner by the age of 30. So with that, I started to work backwards and then work on my finances and work towards it lah. So the pressure of society of like, hey, you reach a certain age, you need to get married and get a house, that got to me. That's why I start planning.
Being a single and supporting the own house, it will be a bit tough for me, but I still want to own my own house.
I really do want to own a home for myself. When you grow up, you see lifestyle so different from your parents, from your siblings. For my case, there's a lot of people staying in a 4-room HDB. Like there's 7 people. So it's very hard, it's very squeezy. So there's no private space for me.
Was there any pressure from like your partner or your partner's side of the family also?
Coming from a traditional Malay household, like the added pressure of, moving forward in life in terms of like marriage and housing of your own is always there. But it's actually my own personal goal as well to like have it on my own. So it kind of works both ways. And in terms of like the pressure of the only child, it was like the main. But after a while, like, throughout the 20 and everything, I start to realize like it is like something I want to work towards. So
Is that something you can relate to fast?
For us Malays, like we can only move out actually after we get married as well. So we want to be independent. Getting our own house is also that goal that we also aim for to fly the nest lah. Yeah.
So that's a bit of a cultural aspect moving out. house.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would like to move out of my parents' house. 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, I love my parents, but of course, when you reach a certain age, your habits start to change, and yeah, as you grow up, I think you will crave for the independence as well. But I also see it from another point of view. Me and my sister got married and moved out, right? So now they have 2 empty rooms. They can actually use that to rent out. So that is income for them. So technically, I'm making money for them, right? So I see it as we flew the nest and they have now like another possible stream of income, which is very important because my mom is a homemaker and my dad is retired already lah. So I think having people in the house also is safe for them as they age. Can't wait to
Because-
get out.
Yeah, it's a little bit squeezy because I do not have my own room. At the age of 34, I still don't have my own room. I was really hoping that, you know, one day I get to own a house or maybe to live outside by myself because there's so many members. Each of them has a different lifestyle. And sometimes you see them so dirty. Then you got a bit of OCD. Yeah, but then you cannot do anything because we are living together, so must live harmoniously lah. It will be a good thing lah for me, like to own a house lah.
Faster get married lah. Buy a
You
house.
see, this is another issue because you're trying to force the people to get married to get a house. To me, it's not workable lah.
Yeah, I think the faster get married thing is always the solution for us to get a house. But at the end of the day, getting a house with the right partner who is also financially stable is very important so that you can fund the mortgage as well.
Buying an HDB as a single impacts the ability to upgrade or invest in real estate. 3, 2, 1, go. Who's more
You know what?
confident?
Wait.
Hey?
Okay.
Eh?
Okay,
Why you change?
why you move?
I do have a close aunt that is currently just divorced because she's a PR. Only has like a normal 9 to 6 job like us. It's actually a little bit hard for her to kind of get another house on her own after getting divorced with a Singaporean. She has like 2 kids. You know, even renting is like not even like the solution because it's really, really expensive.
Property investment is like a dream. If you do your calculations right, I feel that it's not a far-fetched dream, but the prices are getting a bit too high now. For me personally, my dream goal in life is to move from my HDB resale to a landed. So with that goal, then I will try to work my finances. That's a dream for me eventually, but it's something that I have set a goal and try to work towards lah. But I think with the current economic climate and the landed property getting more and more expensive, I think I can just smell the landed property from afar. Yeah, I think so.
So technically, you're agreeing.
Agreeing.
I agree, ma.
No, you're disagreeing.
No, you say the question is hinder, right?
Will it
Yeah.
hinder you?
We hinder you.
So I disagree, ma. It wouldn't hinder, ma.
Oh.
Because she's still working for a dream. Like
Yeah.
she's still
So I'm
wants-
saying
considering.
it's attainable.
Yeah.
It won't hinder you. If you start off from a HDB, I feel that you still can have that dream of going to a private route or landed route. But it
Yeah.
of course depends on your background, your income, and how expensive the price is, lah.
I think there's still chances to be upgrade. Your CPF is even more. You can even upgrade to condo. Yeah, so I think it's really possible. It depends on how you're going to manage it. In future, we will know that whether the property price that I'm actually purchasing this BTO, will it double up in future or not?
If my first property is HDB, it might be a bit harder for me to upgrade from a HDB to a condo. Unless, let's say, I'm like earning a lot.
For HDB to condo, it's possible, definitely possible. I mean, for a single, if you BTO at 35, you only can BTO 2-room flexi. Right? Imagine 35, you BTO. You wait for maybe fastest 3 or 5 years, about 38, 39 years old. Then you wait for another 5 years for MOP. 40 plus years old already, then you're trying to upgrade again. I think the chances are you definitely lose out to a couple.
You sure lose out to the couple, but you still
Get to upgrade.
can get to upgrade because, okay, let's say 5 years plus 5 years is 10 years. So you just spend extra effort on these 10 years to like from a 2-room to somewhere 4 or 5 room. Then from there you go to condo.
That's
there were still
very
chances
long,
lah.
eh?
Yeah, but it take longer.
So by the time I reach the condo, I maybe 50 plus years old already. Wo.
Yeah, lor.
You will live
then
until
you
100,
relax,
ma.
50 plus years old, then you have to get a loan. Want to retire at 40 also cannot. 50 is still working for condo.
If you buy resale, then you skip the so-called building time, but there's still the MOP.
But resale appreciation won't be that much. I mean, for resale single, you can buy a big larger unit, You are not limited to two rooms. You can buy 3 or 4. But of course, at the starting point, like what we said, there's a financial issue. Like, can you really afford as a single person to buy a 4-room where a normal couple, they always go for 4-room because it's comfortable for them.
Rent out lah, the room. You single you stay 1 room. 4 room already, 2 more room extra. Then you can rent out.
Then you have another problem. You have to deal with tenant issue.
He just escaped from a house of 7 people.
Yes, you can rent out the rooms, but
Yeah.
even securing the loan in the first place.
So either you must have a lot of time, or you can live long enough, or either you have a lot of money.
That's why a lot of Singaporeans still stay with their parents.
No choice. It's
Yeah.
not they want.
Buying a second property is not feasible for most singles in Singapore. 3, 2, 1, go. I think I'm the only one.
Oh my! As long as I'm rich and I got like really good planning, I think it's possible for me to get a second property. Maybe my first one not gonna be like super huge or anything. Like for example, like what you say, like 2-room flexi. I can buy another one with like a 4-room.
But you're going to buy a condo leh.
Sorry?
Second options is a private already leh.
Well,
Yeah, that's why.
Oh,
So you change. Yeah, so you see, if you want to start as single to buy condo, wow, 错了.
Higher income earners in Singapore can afford this route. So from there, then they jump. But for normal Singaporeans, we all start from HDB and then that's where we proceed. But if I'm single right now, I will be scared to buy 1 property. I don't know how I'm going to handle 2 properties. But then again, maybe it's possible, but I need to learn how to do it lah. Yeah.
if a situation where, because I'm a single, right, and then I buy a condo, I totally rent the whole unit out and then I just stay with my parents.
I think can.
Yeah, you can.
Then
Can.
I buy another condo.
Their rental must cover the mortgage. If not,
At
it's
least
not
enough
worth.
lah, yeah.
This is Singapore. We don't have a big land. Land is scarce. Government definitely won't encourage you to buy more than 1 property. That's why there's a lot of this ABSD rules and regulations trying to hold people. Even for rich people, they're also trying to control them not to buy second property, anyhow buy. If a single buys so many property, right, trying to rent it at a high price, then who will want to come?
I think it's great that Ray pointed it out. I think most of the housing policies here are skewed more towards like promoting buying house to stay in and not to invest in. I mean, investing is good, but at the end of the day, I'm not saying overpopulation, but we're very overpopulated. So I think the government is trying to curb that in a good way, but I think there will be still some of us who would aspire for a second property lah, just for the extra income, I think.
Singaporean buy 1 house already so expensive. You know, buy second house, especially condo, is 20% ABSD. Third house, 30% ABSD. With the ABSD involved, your house becomes more expensive, you know. The affordability becomes much more of an issue already.
Can you imagine those who have parents who bought for them properties already under their name? How lucky are they? As a parent myself, I would also want to aspire to have a house for my son because I'm not sure in the future how expensive it will be, but I rather focus on the dream to upgrade first before I buy a property for him.
Pro-family values neglect singles. 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know where. I strongly agree. Strongly agree.
Okay, Ray, why are you so torn between agreeing and strongly agreeing?
In our society, we value more on the families. You see, all the policies is all about having a family, more babies. Because like what we say, Singapore, we don't have resources. Our main resources is manpower, humans. Government definitely want to encourage people to get married, to get a house, to form a family. From there, they can hope to increase a young population.
Actually, I do feel, because I don't feel much support from government. I have actually went through 10 overtimes ballot, and I don't feel any support from them at all. Subsidy or whatever, there's no way for us, like a divorcee like me. I got to pay full amount and everything. They keep asking me to buy resale. So where am I going to come up with the money to buy the resale flat? Yeah. So I don't think there's much help.
From an outside perspective, when I see all the news saying that the government hear the concerns and they are actually trying to make some adjustments to make it better, like now singles can buy at more areas, or like I think I'm not sure whether they got a bit more funding or something. So from an external point of view who don't experience this, I I feel like they did help, but I'm sure every case is unique.
For me, it's like when I went to read like their grants, their schemes, all the different loans and everything, the eligibility and all that stuff, I tend to realize that most of them cater to either child or like families. It's not mostly for singles, I realized.
I mean, as a single, the only house you can afford to buy, if you're not 35, is condo, is private. Obviously, condo a bit too steep to buy lah. So most of the time, if you're not 35, then you just stay with parents law. Then once you hit 35, there's BTO. But then again, I feel like because government is very pro-family, so most of the time,
The ballot goes to them.
the ballot also you probably lose out to family.
Actually, one of the strategy that my friend did was stay with her parents until the age of 35 just to save on rent, save a lot of money. Then after that, by the time she's 35, she got enough savings just to buy a condo.
Younger singles should start thinking about housing options before turning 35. 3, 2, 1.
This one no-brainer leh.
Is it a need or is it a want? If it's a need because of like living circumstances, then sure, please move out. I think there are other things in life that you can maybe pursue first, you know. For example, if you like traveling and travel, you know, youth is very important.
Actually, I want to change. I agree with him actually.
Travel first, house later.
Is it the youth part?
The youth is a valuable thing lah. Of course, it's good to start young because you have a long runway. This is the society that we live in now. Like getting a house is something like a status, like milestone status. Like you are very stable. But to me, youth, there's a lot of things you can do rather than just buying a house. I mean, if you want to start business, it's a good time to start business. Who knows? Future down the road, you earn more bucks, then you can straight away buy condo
Landed
already.
property.
Oh.
Men like to enjoy first, women like to plan first, I feel.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like I purchased my property at the age of 29. So if I could, I actually wanted to do it earlier if possible. But I disagree with them. I feel that we should settle the house first, and then
Then
you're
you
all
can
settled,
enjoy.
then you can enjoy your retirement, traveling. But of course, the feeling is different lah. Traveling when you're old and young, but the ease of mind that you are already set the foundation, and now you're just enjoying.
I actually teach my kids to start saving young, especially on housing. I tell them, doesn't matter that you are married or not married, please move out if you are able to afford. I wouldn't want to stay with them.
They're gonna watch this video. Mommy don't want to stay with me.
Not say I don't want to stay with them. I don't want to have those conflict.
I wish that my parents had that for me, you know, like made me save from young for my property. All these like savings and planning, I feel like it should already be instilled in us like earlier. In my experience, I only got exposed to all of these only when I'm in like maybe graduating from poly, that kind of thing. So it's like a little bit too late.
Basically, there's no one size
Yes.
fits all. It's
Yes,
based on
definitely.
your income level, what's your aim in life, where you are in life. We might be the same age, but we have different priorities.
Government housing grants don't give enough support for singles to achieve home ownership. 3, 2, 1, go.
I feel like there is, whether it'll be enough or not, I feel like it's a me problem, you know, like whether I'm earning a lot or not.
There are some grants available that help them to kickstart. Because I had a friend, he also was quite anxious about buying his first house and end up with the grants available and talking to the right people. He realized that I can afford a resale property in Tampines. So that's affordable for him, and he's now a homeowner lah, at the age of 35.
I actually agree on the help. 2% actually supporting the house. But right now I'm actually 1%. So I'm actually still going for 25 years as the duration. So the payment wise is actually the same as the couple. Being a single, I'm actually getting half of what you all get. I don't get extra help.
So at the end, singles still need to fork out a lot of money. Yeah, involve a lot of cash, unless you are really super rich lah. I mean, but then if you're super rich, then you're not eligible to buy HDB already.
I mean, on one hand, I do understand why government is not supporting singles as much as families, because pro-family ma, you know, yeah.
But I really think it's about they don't have enough house leh.
Which is also true
I
lah.
feel like they just don't want everyone to split, like
Yes.
buy individually, because they don't have supply.
Yes, there's a lot of problem.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
Singapore's housing policies do not reflect the changing landscape of singles, delaying or avoiding marriage. 3, 2, 1, go.
Walk so slowly. Times are changing. We are like not getting married, or like, you know, we have same-sex couples. Habits are changing, but I think the policies are still seem very traditional. It won't change anytime soon. So we all might have to just conform around it lah.
From what we have actually read from the news, all the things is like still so traditionally couples and marriage family, 3 generation, etc., etc. So nothing much can be changed at the short moment, but I think in future it might.
I definitely agree and resonate with them. I'm like the late Gen Z. Speaking on behalf of them also, I know a few people who are already kind of like making plans like around these policies and landscapes and everything. And especially like what Faz mentioned about LGBT relationship. I do have a lot of friends who are there and they are already planning to like migrate or like already planning to save up to like rent.
Definitely, I believe it will change, but not within our generation yet. If I'm not wrong, there is some new policy for HDB. Like now, single can buy in every
Non-mature estate.
There's one
Can even buy
small
2
step.
taxi also.
A small change.
Yeah, small change.
Yeah.
So you can see lah. But then if you want to totally change, like from 35 to 30, it's hard.
Yeah.
The 35-year-old rule for HDB purchases should be reconsidered for singles. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm scared.
Yeah lah, should lah, but
I think that why HDB set this 35-year-old age, I think it's because they think that by the time we are 35, we are
more stable.
financially stable, income-wise, and mentally stable to own a house.
Yeah.
And you might not think of marriage.
I'm sure, maybe. So, but I feel that there should be some flexibility. If let's say you earn a lot or you can afford it, and you are sensible, I think that there should be flexibility that it can be arranged lah, instead of 35. Really, my friends all on their birthday, they are like looking forward to their birthday to buy a house, which I think is quite depressing. Yeah.
Who thinks it should be younger based on it?
younger lah, of course.
What's a good age?
I think more or less about 30.
30 to 35, I feel.
I think about 30 lah, because more or
30
less
nice.
I think
I like 30.
End of 29 or something, they should be able to know what they want in life already. So I think 30 is about the good age for them to choose.
From 20 to 30 is an exploration phase.
Oh, that's
From 30
true.
onwards, you must know what you want to do.
So is public housing fair for singles in Singapore? It's a question that doesn't have a straightforward answer. On one hand, current policies walk a tightrope between balancing the needs of the population and working within Singapore's land constraints. There's a growing case for more inclusive options for singles, especially with Singapore's rapidly changing dynamics. Ultimately, this issue affects not only singles, but also Singapore's larger housing landscape. While changes to policies might come with time, the challenge of home ownership for singles in Singapore will likely remain for the foreseeable future. We would love to know how you're navigating these housing challenges. Are you a single aspiring to own a home? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on anything real estate.